So welcome, everyone. My name is Gina, and here with me is Sue, and I'm going to go ahead and just share. We have a little presentation for you this evening. We are all about purpose tonight, which I really love, and it is Sue's passion. And I'm going to say, if you do have chats or questions, I'm not going to see them most likely, okay, until the end, but we will be answering some questions at the end. So this is all about purpose. We're deep diving into purpose. Sue Brady is the Pied Piper of purpose. She's a really phenomenal of who she is and what she does, and I am really delighted to share her with you this evening because I know a lot of you want to know about purpose. I hear this a ton. And I'm going to be really honest. My passion is passion. I'm really good at helping people live their passion, like Sue. I'm not necessarily good at helping people find their purpose because typically speaking, when people come to me, they already know what it is, whether they want to know or not. And for those of you that want to really discover your purpose even more, there are people like Sue in this world that do a really good job at that. And then when you're ready to live it, come find me. So this is who I am. I'm Gina. This is me in a nutshell. I really, really care about all of the work that I put out there. I'm super dedicated to harmony and helping you live in peace. Removing discord from your life is my MO, whether that's going to be me calling in other people that help you to do that, like Sue. Denise is on the call. I refer a lot of people to her. Dr. Seth, I'm not sure if you're here somewhere. I refer a lot of people to him. I have a team of people that help me in a myriad of different ways because that is what I'm devoted to do, is to remove discord. I'm really serious about this work. I will be your biggest cheerleader, and I'm also very intuitive. And a lot of you, most of you on this call, some of you watching know, but some of you may not know me, and so this is who I am. These are different things that I do. So I work with people one-on-one, diving into angels, feng shui. I have a membership program that's going to be opening up again soon. I do business and website building, and I also host an annual retreat. So this is what I do. I work with empaths and highly sensitives to ignite their intuition, and I work with emerging entrepreneurs that are heart-centered to build their heart-centered businesses. My passion is working with others to, that's supposed to say activate. Spelling, not my best. I will say that I did just take a huge step today, and I don't know if you're here, Jordan, but I'm going to be working with somebody that's going to be helping me, so you're going to see a new face in my brand, and she's going to help me to do things like this and spell check. But this is what I do. This is my gift. That's my passion purpose, is to help others activate their abilities. And it really lights me up to see you move through your fear and come out living in your passion, not necessarily finding your passion. Sue helps you to discover your passion. And this is who it's for. It's for people who are ready to open their hearts, who want to transform, who want to take their power back, and not to discover their passion, but to live their passion. That is my MO. I believe that you are your best teacher. I believe that there are no rules. If you have questions tonight, of course you're going to ask those, but also go inward to your own teacher and see what she or he says first. Now this is Sue. So Sue is and I'm going to let her introduce herself, but she is a certified Martha Beck Wayfinder life coach. She is a teacher of all things intuition, passion, purpose, Lenormand, angels. I mean, she just has done her work. I'm somebody that always does my work. I think it's really important. And she is somebody who definitely does the same. We were just talking this morning and she's like, I'm ready. I want to do this retreat. I'm going to go do this. Gina, have you heard of it? She never stops doing her work, and I am happy. I am picky about who I share with my people. I don't just share anyone. I am very picky about that, and I don't refer anybody. Integrity is important to me, #1 value. So I'm very honored that Sue said yes to do this, and I'm happy to have her here. She's really passionate about helping you to find the courage to take steps forward in your next chapter, and she is really damn good at it, you guys. She's really good at it. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Sue. You have your handouts. This is going to be a lovely, informative session. And yeah, let's just keep diving into the works and turning it over to you.
Well, first I want to say I'm over the moon to be here, and I am very passionate about purpose. And nothing touches me more than to see the light come on in someone's eyes when they recognize what's speaking to their soul. And so this is just a very high level, fun little quiz we're going to take today. So think about back in the day when you took a quiz in Cosmo, like, am I a good kisser? Well, we're going to look at your skill set that's a little bit more important than how you pucker. And this is going to look at the things that you love to do and how you love to do them and the things that you value. So we all came into this world with a predetermined agreement with our soul on what we were going to do. And we would not be able to achieve all of our goals if we didn't have this blueprint that connects us to our soul. So this is the magnetic pole of true north on a compass, but it's the pull of your soul for you to complete your contract. So when we go through these exercises today, it's very important that you listen to how things feel in your body and not just answer what you think you should say, what you've heard in the past, this is acceptable for me. I want you to choose the things that feel like a big yes in your body. So know that this exercise is not scientific. You can redo it as many times as you want because all of these areas we're going to look like, things fluctuate and new things will come to the top. So we'll go ahead and get started. So we're going to go quickly though. So answer the first thing that comes up for you. So we'll go ahead and turn to the page. So this is a life purpose statement, and the one that's on the screen is the one that I did back in 2015. I actually first did this on AARP, which was just a hoot because I don't think I was even 60 yet. And this is no longer available anywhere. You cannot find this, so I have recreated it because it really spoke to my heart. And so we're going to reflect on 5 different areas of our life, the things that drive us and engage us on our path. But this is what my finished statement looked like. I put it on a purple background. I actually made it into a photograph and put it on my refrigerator. So we're going to go ahead and get started.
I'm burping. It's really good. It must be really good.
So we're going to go to the next slide, and I'm going to read you this quote. So we are each gifted in unique and important ways, and it's our privilege and our adventure to discover our own special life. This is by Mary Dunbar. So we're going to start by looking at your gifts and talents. And I put together a list of gifts and talents that will be the next slide. And you can choose from there or you can choose your own, because we know that I didn't capture all of the gifts and talents that are possible out there. So feel free to add to your list. And hopefully you might have peeked at the list prior to this and I already have some ideas of what speaks to you. And for the sake of going faster, you don't actually have to write them out at this point. If you just want to, on your handouts, circle the gifts and talents that speak to you. So let's go to the next slide. And I'm going to have you look at these, and I want you to pick out at least 5 of them, but at the very least 3 that speak to you. And I want you to rank them 1 to 5, 1 being your favorite, 5 being at the bottom. So I want you to look, as you're going through this list, circling things, I want you to look at the things you love to do, because what you love to do holds the seeds of what your purpose is. So we already know, but there's so many things that get in the way and we can't see it. So here are some additional gifts that I didn't put on the list. Adding humor, which is my favorite. Caring for others. Organizing. If you want to organize, practice that skill set, please come to my house. So decluttering, sizing up a situation, creating environments, holding space. So just pick out the 5 that speak to you.
And I love the advice that you said, listen to your body.
Yeah.
I always say if you feel it here, it's probably nah. Feel it here when you read the word and you're like, oh.
Now the interesting thing is we generally lead our life from our minds, our logical mind. And that is not the way to live. We need to live from our soul and what feels good in our body. So if it feels like a yes, that's your life. If it feels like a no, that is not for you. All right, we're going to go to the next slide, and we're going to now talk about passions.
Did everybody get 5? I can see Diane, I can see Nancy. Did you get 5? Yeah, write them down. We can take a minute. Like, I want you guys to do it though, right? We want them to write it down. Write 5 down. Don't think too much.
Something you can think about too is, when was the last time you were doing something you really enjoyed? And within that lies some of your gifts.
I can see Diane. She's like, oh God, I don't know. I'm like, Diane, just choose. Just choose. Listen to your heart. And somebody's chatting me here, so I'm gonna go over here. So let me just look at this. Oh, okay, good. Chris says got him. Okay, great, great.
All right, so let's move on to passions, because again, you can do this as many times as you want. You can skip this slide. So I'm going to read you a quote about passion. Passion is the little cog in the wheel that keeps it turning even when it's flat and wobbly. It's the fuel to the fire, what keeps the embers burning long after the flames have died down, by Haley Morgan. So when we look at the next slide, we're going to look at your top 5 passions. So, and feel free again to add anything to the list that you don't see on there. But look at activities that include personal enrichment, social activities, sports, creative hobbies, interaction with others, collecting, any activities that speak to you. And again, you're going to pick out 5. And so here's a tidbit on how to identify what is truly a passion. So a passion is something you experience when time is flying by and you don't even realize it. So today, I was working on a class I'm going to offer next month, and I put my lunch in the microwave, turned it on for 30 seconds. The next thing I know, 2 hours have gone by, and my microwave has been dinging for 2 hours. And I didn't even hear it because I was so deeply engrossed. So teaching is a huge passion of mine. So needless to say, I had to rewarm my lunch because it had been 2 hours. But we say, oh, I don't know what I'm passionate about. You do. When was the last time you were so deeply involved? Maybe it's just reading or taking a walk, and all of a sudden you look up and you're home. So just look at the list. Here's some other things that aren't on the list: ceramics, learning, camping, nature, stamp collecting, stargazing. And if you'd like to declutter, you can come to my house and Marie Kondo yourself into a coma. Some people are passionate about decluttering. So pick out at least 3, at the very least, your top 3.
I really like what you said. Like, what can you do where the time just goes by?
It just goes by. And you know, we don't realize that it's something that really speaks to us because we assume that everybody gets deeply engrossed in what we do. That's totally not true. I would not be interested in stamp collecting, but I know people, you know, thrive on it. I have an aunt that at the age of like 65, she got involved in baseball card collecting. Oh my God, when she passed, she had a huge collection. Totally organizing, filing, all that stuff. So that's a passion.
I love it. I love it. Okay, I can see Diane and Nancy. I can't see anybody else. Diane, are you good? Did you write down 3 or 5? Okay, all right, cool.
All right, so now we're going to talk about creating an impact. The only limit to your impact is your imagination and commitment. Tony Robbins. So this is the big picture of life. We're all called upon to share our gifts and talents, and that would have a positive impact on our environment, our communities, our families, our place of worship, relationships, but most importantly, on the planet. When we're doing what we came here to do, we raise our vibration, and as a result, we raise the vibration of the planet, and this planet could use some vibration raising. So go ahead and go to the next slide, and we're going to have you look at your top 5 things that you'd like to have an impact on the world, so, or in your life. So again, this is just a smattering of issues that you could get involved in. And, you know, I have like children everywhere on here, but there's like 100 different things you could do to get involved with children. It could be teaching, it could be, you know, fostering, it could be mentoring, it could be, you know, they're doing a reading program at the library. So pick out the things that matter to you the most. And sometimes it might be what keeps you up at night. You might be thinking about all the people who are being swept up off of Facebook postings about wanting to shoot people. I want to get involved in creating a safer environment on the planet. Again, issues with children. People get involved with those pantries they put in their front yards for people who need food. So whatever it is that speaks to you on how you would like to raise the vibration of the planet. And this is a little tougher than just deciding what your gifts and talents are. So if you only pick, 2 or 3 of those at this time, that's okay. I guarantee you, after you look at this list, you'll be more aware of the issues that are out there, and something will bubble up for you.
It's like imagining what coin you want to drop in the bag donation at the grocery store, right? Like which cause, yeah. And shameless plug, if you are into kids and you're local to St. Louis, I have plenty of Epworth.
Yeah.
We love Epworth in our home for kids.
And another thing that might be a tip for you on this is what makes you mad?
Oh.
You're driving down the street and you see something, what is it that makes you mad? Maybe it's a bully bossing someone around, or maybe it's someone driving who shouldn't be, or someone who needs help, an elderly person needing help. So look at the issues that bring up your emotion.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. Nancy, Diane, how we doing? Did you write? Diane says yes. Nancy's kind of nodding. Okay.
So we're going to move on to what you value. So what is so important about your values is it really shapes who you are. And this quote grabs that. Your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values, and your values become your destiny. And that's by Gandhi. So on the next sheet, we're going to look at the top 5 values. Go ahead and move to that sheet, and I'll just keep talking. The choices are limitless. There's no way I gathered all of the values you can have in life. So pick the ones that speak to you, or write in additional ones. And again, try to pick 5 and then prioritize them. We don't realize how what we value has shaped our lives. So if you just go back and look over the past week of how you interacted with people, what was important to you, what articles on the news caught your attention, you'll immediately see what your values are. You might be curious about different things. You might, integrity is always high. When in doubt, pick integrity. Making a difference is really a good one. Justice, there's so many opportunities now for justice to come up. I hope that some of you pick joy, because that really speaks to me. When in doubt with trying to determine your life purpose, if you select the things that bring joy into your life, it's going to lead you to an amazing life. You cannot go wrong by selecting joy over any other option when you're choosing something. So there's lots of fun stuff in here. Clarity, independence. I also value courage, and that's one of the things I love to do with Pied Piper Purpose is leading women to discover that they have courage already in their heart. Because somewhere along the line, we've heard a story that we shouldn't be doing that, whatever that is for you in your story. And it takes a lot to have courage. And I'm going to borrow a phrase from one of my mentors, Beverly Barnes. She coined the term daring to decide. So that can be a value, taking that leap of faith each time you're at a crossroads.
That's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
And values, for those of you that have worked with me, especially those of you, through some of you in my membership group, it's here, values are my bottom lines. I think you need to know them in and out. You need to check in with them every quarter. You need to know these, and these are your bottom lines for how you treat others, how you treat yourself, and how the world turns. I really love, if you don't know them and you're really struggling here, I love Dr. DeMartini's value quiz, and he pings you every quarter to review them, because your values, you got to know your values. Values are what you're going to do. So yeah, really get to know this one. This is being recorded too, so you can come back to this list, but this one, I'm like, if you don't do anything else, do this part. This one's really important. Yeah.
That's funny. So we're going to move on now to life's desires. So desire is possibility, Seeking Expression by Ralph Waldo Emerson. So go ahead to the desire list and you're going to select your 5 life desires. Feel free to add any that aren't there. Oh, we must have jumped over a slide. So, that's okay. So
again, this is why Gina needs help.
all right, so I'm going to just read some of the life desires out loud, and if they speak to you, go ahead and write them down. So this is also an impact that you'd like to have on the planet. So being financially secure, being fully engaged in life, being happy, being healthy, desiring to be inspiring, desiring to be loved or to have love, desiring to be motivated, to be of comfort to others, to be purpose-driven, to enjoy life, the desire to feel accepted, to feel comfortable. A big one for me is to be connected to nature. For some people, it's just being connected to others, to feeling fulfilled, to feeling safe or protected. Some people desire to have balance in their life, to gain knowledge, to have a family, to have an impact on the environment, to have clarity, to have confidence, to have joy, to have relationships with others, to help with social justice, leading others. Some people desire just to live a long and healthy life. I desire to share my knowledge with others and to teach others. So if something on that list didn't speak to you, you can ask yourself, do you have a legacy that you would like to leave behind? What would you like to be known for? It could be something as small as kindness, and that's not small, simple, just simply being kind and loving to others. Or gosh, being flexible. We all know that there's people out there that might want to have that impact. So what impact would you like to have on the planet?
What do you think about money on this one? Do you think that that's a safety thing?
I put be financially secure.
Okay.
I think that resonates with a lot of people, especially right now where we see housing prices skyrocketing. Cost of college is so expensive that people are willing to throw their integrity down the toilet and fudge their child on a sports team to get in. And people who are living lives that aren't theirs. So being purpose-driven is so important. So do the very best you can on that one. And now we're going to kind of pull it all together, and we go back to my original one. We're going to start pulling together the top 3 reasons you filled in for each of those 5 segments. So let's go to the next slide, and this is the one that you would fill in, your life purpose statement. There you go. So going back to your list, fill in the blanks for your top 3 gifts. I want to use my gifts for 1, 2, 3, those top 3 gifts that you chose. And so mine were adding humor, writing things, and getting to the heart of matters, which I forgot to put getting to the heart of matters as a gift. Anyway, that's one of my gifts. Cutting through the BS.
And you really are funny.
I know, adding humor, I love that. So now we're going to put your top 3 passions in. So passions for, and I chose the outdoors, traveling, and well-being. And I would even actually take well-being out and change that to passion for helping people find their purpose. See, it changes. It doesn't mean well-being is not in my top 5, but right now helping people with their soul's calling just speaks to me a little bit more. And then you're going to add your areas of impact. So to create an impact on your top 3 areas, and I chose working with my clients, personal growth, and my work. So actually learning and teaching, having an impact on my teaching. All right, after you put those in, you're going to write in what you value. So I value freedom, passion, and contentment. And I remember having a discussion with one of my brothers about contentment. How can contentment be a value? Well, apparently you're not very content. So you need to move that up your list. So I have freedom, passion, and contentment. And then this will help me with my life's desires. So this will help me to, and then add your top 3 desires. Be purpose-driven, be financially secure, and having more time for my passions. So it's really simple. It's a fill in the blank. And once you fill it in, it's not the end all. You can change it up as often as you'd like. And I love the internet too. To me, the internet is kind of like the Bible, you know, ask and you shall find. So go out to the internet and Google lists of values, lists of impacts I can have on the world. Things will come up that you never even imagined, and it'll give you a whole new list to gather things from. Because this is something that can fluctuate, and I would rewrite it as often as you need to until it really resonates with your heart. Then you'll know that it's your life purpose statement.
This is huge, and I'm really curious, you know, for some of you to do this, like go into it and do it right now. Like give this a really honest go. I'd love to pull a couple of you up to see what you came up with. And while you kind of work on that and do that, I'm going the other way. I do have a few questions. So while you kind of work on those, again, we would love to, you know, kind of help you with these if you're really stuck, and you can come back to this call. It's recorded. So when it's sent out, you get to, you know, rewatch it and you can really hone in on this. So work on that. I'd love to bring a couple people up, and in the interim, here's a couple questions that came in. And so we're going to answer these too. So one of the questions was, I fear exposure, should I write the book? So this person reached out to me, probably wanting to know, should I write the book? Like wanting me to do some angel messaging around that. But I'm going to take this in a different approach. You are looking at somebody who was scared to fly, so I became a flight attendant. My belief is whatever you fear, that is your GPS to the next step. So like if you fear to be exposed, maybe try to expose yourself a little bit. I am not saying go be naked somewhere. That is not what I am saying. That is the wrong advice. I am saying take small steps to expose those parts that you are really scared to share. That might just be with family. Again, scared to fly, became a flight attendant. Guess who's not scared to fly anymore? And thank God, because I value adventure. I value travel. Not in my top 5, but I still value it. So if you're fearing the exposure that comes with writing the book, let me tell you, it's like, I love Marianne Williamson doing the acorn with the tree, right? The acorn came here to be a big oak tree, right? Do you think the acorn, if the acorn was human, can you imagine the dialogue that it would be having with like the seed of an apple? Like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Like, I'm so scared. I don't want to be buried. It's dark. This squirrel, it's eating me. Like, of course, like just imagine that dialogue that would be happening in nature. If you don't fear it, I would be really concerned. Like if you just were like, I'm just gonna go and do this thing, I would be really concerned because that's a part of the path. And I was just telling, if you're in the mentorship group, oh my gosh, super cool guest expert next month. Oh, some of you already know him, Gene, he's a numerologist. And I was just telling him, he said, you know, you're a 16, you're a 7 in your numerology. It does mean that you've had a really hard life. I said, yeah, but you know what? I wouldn't change any of it because how would I ever be able to empathize, to understand with all of these people that come with me come to me with pain, with grief, with hurt. How would I ever be able to empathize with them if I did not have the past that I had? Like, please, that's just unacceptable. That would be like, you can't cherry pick your experiences. So I'm so grateful for it. So with this answer, I fear exposure. Should I write the book? I'm not worried about the book. My focus is going to exposure and what you're fearing. Let fear be your GPS. Let fear guide you. You don't have to expose yourself all at once, but take small steps to move towards your fear. That will also give you more content for your book. And I can't wait to read it when it's out. So I don't know if you have anything to add to this.
Well, I really like when you said take small steps. So if you take the whole book and then break it down into 50 little steps, like today you only have to write one paragraph about one subject. And then you do a couple of these baby steps, and before you know it, you've got momentum going. So don't look at the big picture, look at the tiny picture.
Take little bits, and then we never do it. And you know what? I want to also say, like, again, the poor peeps in my membership group, like you're hearing all this. But there's like 5 core feelings that we really work with, and fear being one of them. Whenever you have fear equals take action. Take action 5 days ago. Take action 5 months ago.
Fear plus action equals courage. I got that on my refrigerator.
You love courage. Yeah, so I hope that helps you. Okay, tuning into the next question. How can I really motivate myself to do the things I want to do? I have great ideas, but I just can't get started. Do the thing that Sue doesn't want to do, which is declutter. That would be my very first piece of advice. And I think I'm just going to go over here and try to, oh, I can't. Okay, I don't know. Make sure that you're muted if you guys, there's a couple people I think that aren't muted, so if you could just mute yourself. But that would be my first piece of advice, is to declutter. If you have ideas that just can't get started, my guess is that in your, I'm a practitioner here, but by default. So of course, I go into, there is something in your environment, in your exterior, that is also causing things to just not be able to let you get started over here. So it might not be about motivating yourself. I'm gonna have to just, sorry about this. I'm just gonna go ahead and stop this share so I can mute everybody. Let me just mute that. Yeah, that's always, okay. But yeah, so in order to, move into creative action, that would be my really strong advice for that. Is the first step is to definitely declutter. The second step is to do like what Sue said, find joy. Like, unless most of you know by now, like, I am a frequency buff. So I really believe that if you are radiating at this frequency and vibrating at this frequency, those are the experiences that you are attracting. So if you have these things that you really want to do, which PS, they're not things that you really want to do, they're things that Spirit is giving you to do. It's like your mission, right? It's things that, like, God, I think, is giving you to do. And if that is an idea that is equivalent to the resonance of source energy, then you need to match that resonance. So if you're going out and you're also, you're like chilling on Netflix. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Netflix and chill time. But I also, like Denise has me sitting there rubbing out my fascia as I'm watching Netflix. I'm like hitting my meridians. I'm massaging different things all the time. So you have an obligation to keep your resonance high to be able to fulfill those things that it's not what you want to do. If you're being driven to do it, I'm sorry, I'm calling you to step up even bigger and saying, this is your plan. This is a part of your purpose. This is a part of your I am presence. Your cells are telling you to do it. So you also have a responsibility to the world, really, because the world's waiting for you to raise your resonance high enough so that you get motivated, right? And I would love to know examples. There weren't examples with this, but for one example, I got an email this past week about, like, well, I really want to, eat better, and I know that you said you were doing Shape Reclaim. I'm so, blah, blah, blah. So you're on this, it's a detox I do every year. But hopefully I won't have to do it next year. We'll see. And how do you do that? How do you come up with it? I really want to do it. I just can't get motivated. Well, clean out your cupboards, declutter, get rid of all of the Oreos and get rid of all of the processed food. Like, make your environment that which will motivate you, right? Like, you guys, I had somebody here today that she's lovely. She really appreciates the work, and she comes once a week and helps me organize something, does laundry, and she declutters and she takes away stuff. And she's like, I don't know, I don't know what you think I'm decluttering. Like, you are so organized. And I'm like, take more. Like, I'm addicted to just give her more, because I know that, people always say, oh my God, you're so go, but like, I keep creating space. So I hope that helps you, and I don't know if you have any.
Yeah, I think one other thing I would say when you're feeling unmotivated is ask yourself, how much am I playing? Because we tend to forget how to play. So that would be on the list. And if you have struggled with how to play, when was the last time you did something creative? Because that gets the juices flowing again. It kind of opens the door.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And pay attention to who you're hanging with. Like friendships. I have some super good girlfriends from way back, and like when we get together, all they want to do is like drink. And that's just not me, low vibe. So I surround myself with really supportive people that are high vibe and are gonna help me to motivate myself. And when I get on, like, the majority of my time is spent on my angel and tarot calls, on my membership calls, in my one-on-ones, in my mastermind group. I'm in an apprenticeship with Cindy Dale. I'm in, of course, like the James Wedmore for Business. Like, there's all of these things that I also do. Like, who are you surrounding yourself with? That's another key thing. And then we have this lovely question that I might not be able to access, but I know, because part of the thing is in the way, but I know what it sort of says. So I've been reading a book by Dolores Cannon, and she mentions that for some, their sole purpose in this lifetime is just to be and let their love and light emanate to others. But those souls tend to struggle mostly on purpose because they've forgotten that they're really here on earth to be a beacon of light for others. It's beautiful, right? It is. It really is. I feel that what she is saying resonates with me, but how do I parlay that into something fulfilling and satisfying in the work realm? I don't want to just be, I want to be fulfilled myself. This is a great question. And I think that my own experience can speak to this, because I can tell I've literally done every job, you guys. I have worked in a pharmacy, I have been a barista, I have been a smoothie maker, I've been a flight attendant, I worked on cruise ships. I would bet that unless it's like manual labor, there's not something that I haven't tried. I worked in IT, I worked in business development, customer service, acupuncture school. I'm not kidding. Like, there's everything. I'm 39. Like, it's not like but I have done a ton of jobs. And it's because every time I've been in it, the minute something doesn't feel right, I go after that next thing, and I've never had to worry. And thank God I married somebody that was like, okay, I trust you. Like, what you've done so far works. Because it gets hard when we don't have spousal support. It is really hard, or if you don't have the support of those that you love. But, and I don't know if she's on the call, I doubt it, but I had a girlfriend once that one of our teachers said to her, she was like, and she was so like, she said to her, you could just go work at Walmart and be love and light. And she was like, like, this person like values beauty, she values, creativity and luxury. And she was like, I'm not gonna work at Walmart. What? How could she? And like, her point is, you just need to be where you're gonna be and spread light and love, and you get to do that however you want to be. So I really do love this, and I think that it resonates, and I think that she is correct, that is what we came here to be. But let me tell you, you're not going to be able to do that in the deadbeat job that you don't like, period. So if you don't like the deadbeat job, and I'm not saying that this person's in a deadbeat job, I know that she isn't, in fact, and yeah, so I'll just say that I like to keep these anonymous, but and this person is doing something on the side that's like, well, I want to do this, and let me play in it, right? And so there you go, up leveling the resonance. But in order to be able to be that beacon, you can't let yourself, and I know it's scary, but again, fear equals action. You can't let yourself stay there. So I do agree that our soul's purpose in this lifetime is just to be, but you know what? Let me also just show you really quick. Poor Sue, it's hot in here. Isn't it, Sue? Okay. Oh God, I'm like burning up. So let me just show you this. This is the I am presence, right? This is the I am presence. And I'm gonna stop this screen share because we can have some chats and stuff too, and then I'll make this a little bit bigger. Sorry, as you see. So there you go. This is the I am present. So this is God, Holy Spirit, higher source. This is you right there, like, oh, surrounded by the violet flame, and this is your higher self. And so when we look at this, right, this is where I really believe that our values stream down through there. So our values are in ourselves, and it's who we are and what we are meant to become. And within your value system, within all of these things that Sue talked about, those literally like come down into us. Like, this is my experience. So everything that is in yourselves is leading you to that thing. So I do believe that we are here to just be, but we are here based on our values, our passion, all of these different things, the impact we want to make, to not just be, but to just be. And I don't like the word just. I don't like when people use it in writing. I don't like the word just, but we're here to be in our truth, right? That's why it's important to do this work. I can tell you my top 5 values. I know some, those of you who work with me are like, oh my God, shut up about your top 5 values. Nobody cares anymore. I like shout them from the rooftops, and they change, right? But that's why knowing this work is so important, because it helps you to be where your truth, your I am presence, what God put you here to do. And guess what? If you and your physical being are not feeling like you're in a super good job, or you're in, I'm not giving the advice to say just quit. I never did that. Okay, I was a flight attendant. I did angel readings for, like, can you believe I told Marianne Williamson one day that she was not listening to her angels and to put the laptop down, because I didn't know that it was her. And I told her that, and she was like, oh! Right? Like, I was doing angel readings in the galley of airports.
And now she's running for president.
And now
she put the laptop down.
And she did say that she would send me a book, and she never did. So when she's like, if I ever see her again, I'd be like, woo! Yeah. So yeah, I really believe that you have to surrender to that light, accept that light, expose that light, even if it's scary, wherever you are. Do you know I like wanted to pee myself when she was like, do you know who Marianne Williamson was? I was like, yeah, I'm reading her book. It's right here. And she's like, that's me. I am her. And I was thinking, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, because she looked so tired, right? I mean, that was, scary that was for me, to be like, oh yeah, this is who I am. I wouldn't have done that, but like God knew that and was like, kicking the pants, right? So it's like you do have to expose yourself a little bit. So these questions really went beautifully together. I don't know if you have anything to add.
I just want to say 2 things about the last question. First, your purpose is not necessarily a job where you get a paycheck. It certainly is for most of us, but it doesn't have to be. The second thing, and this is, I hope, will be good news, if you're being called to do something more than just being, that you want to fulfill yourself, that is exactly what will happen for you, because your soul is calling you to do that. If you were just meant to be, you would be peaceful in that. So it's coming.
Yeah. I'm gonna burp on that, which always means big energy is pulsing through now. And just able to look at the chat, because I'm not able to see it when we're on a screen share. So Jen, I'm not sure, do you need me to put the slides back up still? You can tell me. Or if there's any other questions, if you have any other questions, put them in the chat bar.
I think you sent the slides out.
I did. And you guys are gonna get them again. This recording's gonna come again. This is really important work, you guys. It really is. And if there are any other questions, you can ask in the chat.
And I want to offer additional help for you if you want to dive a little deeper into purpose. I'm offering a class in September. It's called Calibrate Your Inner Compass, Pointing Toward Your True North. So this is about creating a passionate life. And in this, a 2-hour workshop online, we're going to identify your ideal life, what it looks like, come clear on what matters in your life, identify the milestones and markers, and to know what success means for you. It's going to be September 14th, and Gina will have the link in the email.
I will. I'll send it out in the follow-up. Yeah, so this is wonderful. And I would love, is anybody willing to come up and share their value statements? I'm going to go, or their statement. Anybody? Is anybody willing? There's no hands. Nobody wants to be sick. They're like, no.
Oh, good.
Christine. I'm going to bring Christine up because I saw your hand. Let us see. Okay, you're on.
I'm already finished. Okay, so thank you, Sue. Okay, so mine is, you just want me to read it off? Just read it?
Yeah.
I want to use my gifts for encouragement, empathy, and humor, and my passions for talking to others, spiritual awareness, and teaching to create an impact on children, elderly, and those seeking more to life, because I value acceptance, belonging, and empathy. This will help me to be happy, healthy, and feel connected and grounded.
That's awesome. So when you read that, how does that feel in your body?
It felt awesome. You know why? Because some of this stuff wasn't even on the list that I wrote out. And then as I was sitting here writing it, more stuff popped up, and I was like, that sounds great.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy.
When you read that and you feel happy about it, really feel the sensation. Like I feel butterflies in my stomach, or I feel tingling at my shoulders. And then that is your barometer that you're moving closer to your life purpose statement. So you can do 100 million different things as long as you get that feeling. Your feeling's going to lead you to what that is.
I'm feeling excited right now.
Yay!
And I want to say too, like, is any of that messaging in your sun captures? Is any of that messaging?
Yeah.
How can you, really link your sun catchers into that? Because those, and I'm not sure if it is or isn't, but I mean, those really do a good job. I mean, talk about empathy. Children, are they in?
Right.
Are they,
Right.
And teaching a class for children to make them.
Yeah. I've thought about all that stuff. I've thought about, I want to teach that and children and crystals and
what's
them. I don't know.
Are you afraid?
Just doing it?
Afraid of?
What's that?
What are you afraid of?
Will people care? Will anybody care about that stuff? Is it really that big of a deal?
You know that for 2 years of my life, I wrote a blog that like one person read, and it was probably like 2 people, my mom and my teacher. So I'm just saying, like,
that too. I think what happens to me is I don't think small. I always think, well, I want to do it big, but you can't start off big, I guess. You have to start off small and then build and build and build. So maybe I'm always thinking, well, people may not like this, but then there's going to be people who do like it.
So it's not. Will love it.
I'm sorry, Sue, what?
Your people will love it.
Right. My people. Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing, for being vulnerable and sharing.
And thank you. I'm going to just call myself out and say I had that last question. So thank you it felt good. And Sue, thank you, because you had really cool stuff to add to the end of it.
Cool.
So big things are coming.
Yeah. Yeah. And Dolores Cannon is amazing. I mean, she really is amazing, but I also really honor that she's super good at being amazing, like in other dimensions, and not forgetting about the human aspect of things. So remember that, it's quite a bridge both of those worlds.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing.
Okay. Thank you.
And then, Chris, did you say you also are willing to share? I think she said that she was also willing to share.
I did, but now I don't want to.
Oh, no! Please do!
All right. I want to use my gifts for empathy, awareness, and joy, and my passions for teaching, writing, and making videos to create an impact on facilitating change, self-awareness, and spiritual connection, because I value sovereignty, acceptance, and self-realization. And this will help me to live in my purpose, be fulfilled, and have financial abundance.
Awesome.
That was really beautiful, and I love that you did that, especially because you want to do videos, and this is a really good practice because you just did it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Sue.
You're welcome.
How did it feel when you read it out loud?
It's powerful. It's empowering. I'm using my throat chakra. Woo!
Yay!
Burning. It's hot.
I love it. Thank you for sharing, Chris.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I know we kind of, when we start sharing, people kind of drop out. Is there anybody else that wanted to share or wanted feedback? Okay, Nancy. We're coming up. Okay, you're unmuted, sister.
Okay. I'm a little confused, so that's why I'm going to share mine. Because I know a lot of things were overlapping, that appeared more than once. So Can you hear me? You can hear me? Okay. I want to use my gifts for creativity, intuition, and health, and my passions for dance, yoga, and home improvement to create an impact on my family, self-esteem, and values. Because I value joy, kindness, and integrity, this will help me to comfort others, be happy, and have and be loved.
So what's really cool is when you start, you said you had some that overlap. So when you start to see things overlap, you know that that's super important in your list of things. And I have an example of someone who had a list that was totally, it seemed incongruous. So loved nature, loved hiking, loved being outside, loved teaching, loved artwork and drawing and painting, and didn't know how all this was going to fit together. But when she started laying them over, guess what? She's an art teacher with an outdoor studio. So everything's outside. So there is a way to bring that all together. So the creativity and the yoga and the empathy, and touching people's lives through your yoga. So maybe, you niche down within one of those when you start looking at what you want to bring to the world. Just keep tweaking them and seeing where it overlays. It's beautiful.
Okay. It just kind of was, it wasn't really specific to me. It's like everything is important to me, but it just didn't really kind of make sense when I wrote it out like that.
Well, I like that though, because then it gives us something to work with, and it gives us because if it doesn't feel like, if it's not really resonating, then that does tell us that we're able to dig deeper into that.
And peel back the layers some more. Mm-hmm. And really get down to the seed, that's the oak seed, see what it's genetically programmed to do.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
I really love that you were, vulnerable. Anybody else? Did anybody else want to share on that? How about the other Nancy? I see the other Nancy there. Did you want to share? You're muted. Wait, what did you say? What did you say, honey?
I came in in the middle. I was having a hard time getting on.
Okay.
So I really don't know what this is here. Okay. So I was going to watch it from the beginning because I'm thinking, what are we doing now? So yeah, I was going from the beginning.
But I love that you're here, and I would love to, can I call you out really quick?
I guess.
Nancy is she's one of the people in my apprenticeship right now, and she's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I just saw this dead cat walk. Oh, there's this man. Is on fire. And she's like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm like, oh my God, you're amazing. Yes, you do know what you're doing. And so I'm really curious to see your life statement and how all of these things come in. So go back, definitely watch the recording.
Yeah, I am.
We'll have to talk about your statement because I do believe that this will help a lot.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Yeah. And thank you so much, all of you, for being here. I don't see any other questions. So I'm just going to go back to speaker view, and I'm just going to thank Sue so very much for being with us here.
I'm honored to have been a part of your class. Thank you so much.
And thank you guys for joining Purposes. It's a big deal. We need to dig deeper into this topic. So it's really good. So thank you. I'm going to send out the recording. I will send out the handouts and the links. And let's just keep the conversation going. This is important stuff. And if you are here, I know with my whole heart that this is ready to happen for you, that you are ready to value your values, that you are ready to honor them. And the last thing that I want to say about this, and something I always stress, whatever you wrote in your values, those are your bottom line. So you better treat yourself with those values, you treat other people with those values, and you do not let anybody else treat you anything less than. Period. Delivered. Signed, sealed, delivered. Done.
And I want to also say, when I looked at my watch a minute ago, it was 5:55. So that's big change, baby. It's coming your way.
It is big change. That was the address. I lived in a 1555. That was my address when I saw my first step. It wasn't necessarily the prettiest experience, but it was the biggest transformation. And I do love that. Yeah.
Transformation.
So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Sending so much love to you. Bye.